Welcome to the 2350 Effect.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 2350 Effect. Meet the Presenter Week, the virtual wellness experience. I am Damian Kinsey, the co-host collaborator of the virtual wellness experience, the 2350 Network, the 2350 Effect, and as always, I am joined by Dr. Farron.
Hi, everyone. Hi. Thank you for sharing those things. I'm a collaborator with Damian on all those things that he had shared, as well as owner of Creative Living Ideas and author of 9 books, including Raising the Well-Adjusted Child, a Parent's Manual, and mom of 2 daughters and married of 35 years, just living life, doing my thing. So happy to be here tonight. I'm excited. It is Meet the Presenters week again. Still day 4 of Meet the Presenters. We've got some amazing people to share with you today and are excited that they're going to join us again for the virtual wellness experience as well as tonight.
Yeah, so thank you. We have 2 amazing presenters. They've been with us before. They're 2350 Network members. We have a lot of people who've done a lot of writing and authoring of books, and talking about wellness and your mind, your body, and getting yourself right. So our first guest is Leslie Flowers. She's an author. She talks about mindset. She has a lot of great. She was great at the transition between audio rooms to live rooms and having those conversations. She is a gold level sponsor of the Virtual Wellness Experience. She is no stranger to the Virtual Wellness Experience, the Virtual Wellness Summit, the Professional Work-Life Balance Summit. She does a lot of work on helping in editing and publishing. She supports people, and she's always willing to sit down and have conversations with people about how to get involved on LinkedIn and also be able to share her knowledge. And also, she has a grandson who does baseball. Please welcome Leslie Flowers.
Yes, I do. Hi, everybody. Yes, baseball. That's what ties us together, isn't it, Damian?
Yes, definitely so much. So welcome, Leslie.
Thank you.
How many books is it now?
13. Working on the 14th.
Yeah. 13. Nice.
Oh. But now, there are many, most are contributor, right? So they're anthologies, but until Amazon says, well, that doesn't count, it counts. So I get to count it as a book.
Yeah. Well, I have no contributions, so they all contribute. You and Dr. Farron, her 9, your 13 count as well. And maybe I can probably learn something about how to do books when I'm ready. This next individual is definitely supporting wellness. She always comes up with some of the great, interesting topics. They're catchy. Her rooms, like she has the ability to do a PowerPoint presentation, just a verbal conversation and keep you engaged. She is a coach. She is a nurse. She is all things wellness. She talks about stuff like how do you eat when you don't cook. She talks about fitting in your jeans. She has so many amazing topics. I'm not going to talk about our topic for this summit, Virtual Wellness Experience. She'll talk about herself. She's a 2350 member, a good individual, great energy, and is always wanting to talk. Please welcome Coach Lee to the stage. Welcome, Coach Lee.
Hello, everyone. Good to be here.
Yeah,
It's
great
good to have you here as well. And you know the great part about this is last summit.
Oh, I think he froze. He did this last night too. I don't know. He's keeping us in suspense. Damien, what is it? What is the greatest thing about last summit?
I know what it is. We were together. Lee and I were together the last
Yes.
summit on the same night.
Our energies come together.
Yeah.
Isn't it funny
Yeah.
how that can just happen? You know,
It does. The stars align.
Damien and I have always said that whatever grouping ends up randomly happening with our presenters always ends up perfect. It's always perfection. So we absolutely love it, you know. Absolutely. So thank you guys both for coming. We appreciate it. We appreciate you returning as presenters, being a part of this night, this event, and love learning from you ladies. I mean, we really do. I absolutely love learning from both of you. And so it's so much fun. So we always start with a laugh caller.
So, laugh call text is that thing in the last 7 days that it made you laugh out loud, call someone, or text someone. I know, Leslie, you're a veteran at this point. Also, you on Coach Lee. So, yeah, I got this down pack, laugh call text. I'm going to go on my laugh call text. My laugh call text was when we were putting together to Meet the Presenter Week. And then when it happened that both of y'all were on, I was talking to Dr. Farron that, you know what, Lee and Leslie were on together out of the 20-something presenters that possibly could have been together the last time. They were all together, and they're back again. So that was my laugh, my call, my text, because it was so random how the universe put y'all together. And like Dr. Farron says, it always works out the way it should work out.
It really does. It really does. Leslie, are you ready for your laugh call or text?
I am. It happened today. My friend in Rhode Island, who's part of this network, ordered a Yorkie that is coming with, and she's texting me, it's being driven across the country to arrive tomorrow. And she sent me the pictures of the luxurious cages, or what do they call them? Crates. There's no room in there for the dog because there are so many animals and everything. And I mean, it is lush. And I just was roaring looking at this. She says, and I have one upstairs exactly like it for this dog, Millie, who she purchased and is stepping into luxury and a lavish life with my friend.
Oh my gosh. Yay to your friend and to this Yorkie. My gosh.
I know. Well, she lost her long-term dog that she had for years and years, and she's been through a period of grieving. And once she decided it was time, but she's pulled out all the stops. I mean, yeah. I've never seen anything like this. It's very plush. Let's just say that.
Oh, that's awesome. How about you, Lee? Your laugh call or text? You're muted. We can't hear you.
You guys don't lip read?
I try, but not so good.
I usually try, I'm sure we all do, to be diligent when we do a double check before you send an email or I just do a little read through, because sometimes it can be a little fast with the fingers. And sometimes that spell check thing, it puts words in there that I'm like, I would never say that. I'm talking to the phone. You know I would never say that. That is not a word you've ever heard me say. Why would you put that in there? Anyway, I did manage to not say anything inappropriate. I just sent the wrong text to the wrong group, which wasn't so terrible. It was generic enough. But it was funny because somebody answered. I asked, oh, has such and such a person started their new job yet? And the lady said, I don't know. But I'm like, you don't even know who that person is. But she responded anyway.
I love that. But I do hate that darn autocorrect. I'm like, that is not what I typed in. Don't change it to something else. I already typed in what I wanted it to say.
Right. There's
Who do
actually
you think you are? Are you the boss of me?
right. There's actually a meme on maybe Instagram or somewhere. It's two guys. It's the same guy, but they play two personalities, and they are spell check. And the one guy says to the other guy who's making terrible mistakes, he says, "You didn't even try, brother. You didn't even try."
Okay, I need to find that. You need to send that to me.
I will try and find it for you because it
Send
is
that to me
quite
on Facebook.
hilarious.
Or text me. Yes.
I get you as YPU. Like I keep trying to click O and it always gives me the P. I don't know why.
Yes, right. There are the letters, and I'm looking at them. Am I just pressing the wrong thing?
Oh my gosh, I know. It's crazy sometimes. So my laugh, call, or text was today. Again, I had an amazing call today. Not a phone call this time with a new connection, but a face-to-face Zoom call with CJ, who is Leslie Flowers, introduced us. And it has taken us a month and a half to get together. And between her schedule and my schedule and all of our meetings and things like that, day jobs, night jobs. And we were like, finally got together today. And we talked for like 45 minutes. Like it just kept just going and going and going. And finally I said, I have to eat some dinner before I go to this. And she's like, I know you have to go. And so it was just one of those where, you just connected and clicked right away and had so much to learn from each other and talk. So I encourage you guys, I've said this the other night, reach out to people, be active on LinkedIn, connect with us, connect with these ladies, reach out, message them in the chat, ask them for a phone call or a quick Zoom meeting or something. It's great to get to know other people. So as you're out there watching, don't hesitate to do that. If you're interested in someone, most people that are on these platforms want to connect with people. So check it out.
That's so true. Dr. Faye, you want to take the first question?
Yeah. I was looking for where I put my mouse. Absolutely. I would love to take the first question. So, you guys have been presenters with us in the past. So what made you decide to be a presenter with us again this year? Without, you don't have to share what your topic is, but what made you decide to present with us again? Whoever wants to go first.
I'll go. Since I unmuted myself before Lee
Sure.
did. Well, I actually didn't.
Right.
I didn't decide. This year I decided to sponsor the event.
Correct.
Right? A different kind of role, right? I'm in a nice position to be able to support you in my weekly carousel and my two shows. So I decided to be a sponsor. But then one day I woke up with an idea and I thought, I'm going to show everybody how to actually rewire your brain. Now, most people know about me that brain and mind are very different. And it frustrates me that conventional education does not include mind work. So you have people coming out with degrees in psychology, etc., and everything is brain. Everything is brain. So I decided that I would jump over the fence and actually show how the mind programs the brain.
And Leslie did. She said, I just am going to come to the event and I'm going to enjoy and I'm going to absorb. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, a few weeks later, she's like, hey, would you like me to present this? Usually whenever Leslie requests or asks to present, I say yes. I say yes. Yes, absolutely. So yes, thank you for sponsoring us and supporting us. We appreciate that tremendously. And Coach Lee, how about you?
Well, it's a long time ago. I don't know if you remember, there was a show way, way back called Cheers.
Yes.
And it had this great jingle that went with it. And it's a place where everybody knows your name. And who doesn't want to go to a place where everybody knows your name?
I agree. I love that.
It's kind of fun. We take that for granted. If you're working remote or you're mostly home and you can be a little anonymous, it's nice to go somewhere where people actually recognize you and, gosh, might even like you.
Yes, I do love that, Lee. That's amazing. So those of you who don't know, Lee and I met on Clubhouse probably three and a half-ish years ago.
Yeah.
And I was just enamored by her confidence and the way she spoke and the way she talked in a room, and I just loved it, and she was just amazing to me. And so I'm so happy that we were able to connect through that and talk and get back together over here on the LinkedIn side. So that's been amazing.
And Dr. Tanya, I almost didn't meet you because I saw your profile over in their Clubhouse and your titles of your room. And I assumed that the children who you were speaking of were little children and that you had little children, in which case I thought it wouldn't be relevant to me as mine weren't little anymore. So I almost didn't come.
Yeah. Isn't that funny? Yeah. So check out people that you think, well, maybe not. There could be a connection, right?
Right.
And right. And I go with the whole spectrum of, parenting to wellness, and yeah, all of this has evolved. So it's been so fun. Yeah. Thank you guys. We're grateful that you're both here.
I like that. Cheers is a good one. And yeah, it's a lot of spin-offs of Cheers, so people should know your name.
Mhm.
All right. Did you want me to ask the next question or answer that question?
You can answer it.
I think I had a topic in my brain that I kind of was like Leslie. I had a topic that I wanted to talk about, and I decided to talk about like it's one of those topics where, I think it's necessary, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I know what the next question is.
I know. And we talk about that, Damien and I talked about that too. Like, did we want to present? Do we want to, support? Same thing. But when topics come around and you're like, I think this would be helpful for the whole group, and so it's great to put something out there, also. So we enjoy doing the presentations as well with the people that are attending.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So speaking of presentations, without giving away your presentation, then kind of talk about your presentation. Mine, I kind of was like alluded to, was it kind of inspired me because it was something I wanted to talk about. But I kind of spoke about it yesterday about I want to talk about my topic because I think when you talk about wellness, it starts with yourself and then the energy around you. And then how do you manage the energy around you while managing yourself? So that's kind of where I'm going with my topic without giving away the name of my topic. How about you?
Lee, you go first this time.
Yes. Well, I'll be adding a different little spin this time around, but I'll talk about one of the elements that I'll speak on, and that is really what we're all doing here is to be using our voice. I know it sounds simple, and if you're accustomed to using your voice, you might, use our voice, of course. Mm-hmm. I had I don't know what you call it. I was not encouraged to use my voice at all. I was definitely be seen and not heard. And then after a while, after about 7 years of conditioning, I essentially self-muted. And so in recent times, I discovered it again.
Yes.
And I want to help other people do the same.
You know what's really cool? And you don't post a lot of your content on LinkedIn.
Not as much, a couple days a week.
So those of you connect with Lee on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, your content has really evolved. It has been very cool.
Thank you.
To watch your content evolve. And it's very much in line of what your presentation is. So check it out. Leslie, you kind of talked a little bit about it, but maybe you want a little more sneaky peeky.
Well, this is brand new presentation. So I've never given this. I mean, I have in ways, but this is specifically so people can really be very clear that what you think and how frequently you think it and the way you feel when you think it matches your results and is the cause of your body's breakdown in many conditions, your physiology, your nervous system, and your brain. And people often don't realize that it's what we're thinking is the only thing we can control. And so now you'll understand, that's my intention, is that people actually understand how this all works together so they can do things about it. They can, we take very few actions when we're confused, but as soon as we get clear, we're out of the gate. So I'd like to see people go, oh my God, I get it now. And they go out of the gate.
Yes, I'm excited about your session as well because, you and I have talked offline a little bit here and there in our network meetings and things like that. And I know you have studied way more of Think and Grow Rich and from Bob Proctor, things like that than I ever have done. I have dabbled in it, but you know so much more about it. And I'm excited to learn from you because there is so much that I think we can do with our mind that we don't do. And I'm excited to learn more about that. So my topic is called, well, I'm going to give you the name of my topic. I'm breaking the rules for Damien, but I usually break the rules once a show. So why not now again? Mine's called Better Together. And it's, talking about socialization for adults. Like we talk about socialization for kids often. Again, I always kind of go to that kid brain. That's my specialty. But as adults, how do we manage our socialization? Lee gives a great point, right? Why would you not want to go someplace where everybody knows your name, that you are known, that you have friends, that you have supportive people. So I will be talking about some things around socialization for adults that I've found myself that I think is really important. So I wanted to take a quick minute. Thank Nick for joining us tonight, and Christy, and anyone else that is out there that's joining us tonight on YouTube or Facebook or LinkedIn. Thank you so much for being with us. We are grateful for you. We've got the virtual wellness experience coming up soon, next Friday and Saturday. Tickets are still available. So if you are seeing this and you would like to get tickets, you can join us at creativelivingideas.com, click on the virtual wellness, and click on the get tickets. All right. Let's go to the next question. So I want to get down to a different question that we haven't really talked about much yet. So I'm kind of skipping around, you guys. If you could meet anyone, past or present, in person, who would it be? Anyone, past or present, in person, who would it be? So many people in thought. It's like Leslie hit the buzzer first. Leslie, go.
Was that on the list?
Yep.
Oh,
It's number 13.
lucky number 13. Okay, so I actually will stick with Indira Gandhi, who was the leader of India. And, it could be, yeah. I think Indira Gandhi, I would love to meet Mahatma Gandhi and sit down with him, but, and Indira Gandhi, though, was a powerful woman who led India, and that's who I would like to sit down with.
Oh, nice. Very nice. Go ahead, Lee.
Yeah, I don't have anybody that's like pressing. I'm glad Leslie went first while I went through the files real quick. I don't know. A person that comes to mind, there are many. I'm thinking maybe an author, like Lewis Carroll, who had actually did a Substack article based on one of his poems. It was kind of a gibberish poem. It was called The Jabberwocky. And I managed to turn it around and made it into something else. So maybe an author, but I also thought who was funny and entertaining and interesting was Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool. How about you, Damien?
I actually had Ali in my head since you said that. I normally, every time I ask this question, I always go on my mom's mother's mother, which is my great grandmother. So I always go with her. That's my answer. Because I want to learn more about what my grandmother was like as a kid, and you know, you don't get those those questions and those answers unless you know, are connected. So that's somebody who I've never met. Out of
Yeah.
my greats, that's the only person I did meet.
Yeah. Interesting. I love that. I know. I would love to see my grandmother again. Sit down with her, just have some fried chicken together. She always made good fried chicken. But I would say, you know, a person that I would like to meet present day, and I've always had a love for this person, is, and to me, they're very similar. I've got two people. Go figure. Brene Brown, she's one of them. If you've ever listened to Brene Brown, I have absolutely loved her, and Oprah Winfrey. They are two people that I think are amazing, strong females. You know, we're in Women's History Month. Amazing, strong females. I want to pick their brain. You know, I want to hear, how did they get to where they were? What were the things that they did? You know, and just learn so much from them, because I think they have both just done amazing work. So, yeah. I mean, Oprah on my house every day when I got home from work it was on every day. When I was teaching, I would come home and have the show on. My kids remember I made dinner to it every night. I loved watching her show.
Now, I was in Chicago a number of years ago and got on her show.
Oh, did you really?
Oh, I did. And I was insistent that she would choose me in the audience, that I was, you know me, I'm going to make sure. I wasn't on the stage,
Sure.
but I was going to have my 2 cents worth, right?
Oh, I love it.
And I did. And, but I don't know anything about her really, other than she's quite spectacular, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
You know, I want to change
Go ahead.
Indira Gandhi. Well, because I had forgotten that my grandmother's uncle was Leon Trotsky. And I am writing a lot about, well before the time Trotsky was born. But my books are going to find him as a child. So I think that would be, but then it could be Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. Now that you've opened the floodgates.
I change the rules, don't I, Leslie? All the time. Tanya changes the rules.
Really? Now that, I mean, my mind is just opened up, and Indira, no disrespect meant at all.
Lee, this is your chance if you wanted to change your mind.
Well, thank you for that opportunity. I'll jump on it. I think, you know, as Damien says, you know, those people that most of us have mentioned have got material out there. There's TV coverage, there's books, but like your grandparents or great grandparents, their lives are pretty much, for me anyway, unrecorded. There's nothing.
Correct.
That's
Their
right.
stories, their lives, what was life like for them, all of that. I think of random things, and I'll call my mother and I'm like, what about this and what about that? Because you know them, your mother, and you see them in mother mode or whatever mode,
Right.
but you don't see them as a person, like aspects of their life, and you just don't really know them that well. So
Sure.
I'd like to, you know, interview an ancestor and write their story.
Oh, that's cool.
Wow. You know, Lee, since you brought it up, not to go off track, but speaking of legacy, 2 years ago and last year, because my sister's children, and I realized that I'd like to know a lot more about my grandparents, but when we're growing up, we don't really think about that, right? Because we're busy living our lives. So 2 years ago, I wrote the first 25 years of my life in the Legacy anthology. And then this past year, I did the second 25 years. And I gave these books to my grandchildren and my children and my niece and nephew, because they've been asking questions, right? And so this year, God willing that I make it to the last quarter of this year, will be the final 25 years. And
Wonderful.
to your point, you know, I want them, they don't care so much now because they have me and they love me, but there'll come a time. And this 25 years is when I'm on my own. So they really don't know, other than Uber Nana, and we go out to lunch and stuff, but they don't really know the work that I do. So I'm glad you brought that up. And there is another one coming out Q4, and Nicole Angay Galindo is the publisher who's doing that. So, you could write your legacy. You got 3,500 words, and then it's documented. That was really what drove me to do it, because I didn't want to die without them knowing all the cool stuff I've done this last
Right.
25 years.
Yeah. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing that, Leslie.
Sure.
All right.
That's definitely good. I didn't realize you did 25, 25, 25.
I didn't either. I like
Yeah.
that.
But I haven't reached
No.
75 yet, so I don't know how I'm going to do that. No, I'm kidding.
You're going to do that.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know, because the first year I did it, I thought, well, I'll just write the whole legacy.
Yeah.
But boy,
How
there's
do
a
you do
lot.
that? 3,500 words. Right.
Right. So then I said, okay, well, this past year, okay, well, I'll finish it up. No, I realized I couldn't finish it up either. And this past year, I wrote a play, including my grandchildren, and at Christmas we did the play
Oh.
for everybody, with the children asking me questions about their parents, right? Because the grandkids want to know, what did the parents do, et cetera. So it's a lot of fun. And if you've never written in an anthology, this is one way of doing it. Is like, it gets the jitters out. It's 3,500 words, and then it's your legacy, and you can give it to your family.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I'm sorry for hogging the stage.
No worries. I like that. That's what it's all about. This experiences, these conversations. It probably sparks thoughts for other people, and also gives a insight to who you are as a person and individual. So thank you for sharing that. The next question is, if you could pick one, just one, a good book, a movie, an album, which one would you pick and why? And you can only listen, watch, or read that, and there's nothing else. And now, while you think about that, we're going to talk about the virtual wellness experience to give you time to think about that, because I know you probably have so many great questions. Dr. Patty, you want to take this one?
Yes. So all you need to do is click on Creative Living Ideas website and go to the site, click Virtual Wellness Experience, and you can scroll down, read a little bit about the Virtual Wellness Experience. You can also check the ticket prices. Unfortunately, you missed the early bird special, but general admission tickets are $175 and one-day tickets are $100. So you could choose to just come Friday, or you can choose to just come Saturday. Once you do that, you can click to attend the event, and it'll open up a page that looks like this. Now, mine says join lobby because I'm the creator of it, but yours would say purchase a ticket here, and you could click on that to purchase a ticket. Once you do that, you can scroll up and you can see all the sessions. You can look at the speakers, all of the speakers that are in the session, in the sessions, I should say, and the different sessions that we have available. And so you can scroll through and look at all of these different sessions and learn more about it. Now, once you purchase your ticket, you can then join the lobby. There's a lobby. This is Zoom events. You're at home in your pajamas, drinking your coffee in your sweatpants, maybe taking a walk on the treadmill. You might be folding some laundry while you're paying attention. I don't know. It's nice that you're in the comfort of your own home. So you can come to the event like this. And this is the lobby. There's a chat section. Whoops. Share this tab. There's a chat section over here. So when you get here for the event, we'll welcome you. And you can ask questions in here. Then you can come down here and see all of the speakers. You can click on Leslie. You can learn a little bit more about Leslie here. Let's see. We've got Lee over here. Where did Lee go? Lee is here, right here. And a little bit of information about Lee on here and her session that she has going. And then you can also click on the sessions itself, and you can bookmark some if you want. We do have one session every hour on the hour, pretty much on the hour, I think. We start off at 8:30 in the morning, just a meet and greet, get together with everybody, get everybody comfortable and acclimated. And then at 9 a.m., we start our very first session with Felipe Cofino. Dr. Hudgens starts the next session at 10. There's a little 15-minute break in between. Let you stretch your legs, change the laundry, refill your drink, use the restroom, whatever you need to do before you come back to the next session. And then Lee is doing her session at 11 Central Time. So what you're seeing on here is Central Time. When you log in, it adjusts to your time zone. So you will, that's the beauty of it. It's great for that. And then we have two vendors. We have Jackie Hallberg and Mel Vandevort, who are going to be there talking to you and giving you some time to socialize as well during the vendor spotlight. Then we continue at 12:30 with Who Helps the Helpers. Then Leslie Flowers is presenting at 1:30. This session, I need to change this graphic, but Damien and I are presenting together on this session. And then Damien gets a little break and then he's presenting again. Saturday morning, we meet and greet, bring your coffee, hang out with us for a bit. And then we've got Dr. Mel Vandevort talking about whole body wellness. And then Dr. Claire Jacobs is talking about Burnout Proof Your Brain. Dr. Royand Hendricks. Then we've got our vendors back again. So if you didn't catch the vendors on Friday, you can catch the vendors on Saturday. And then Jackie Hallberg, Healthy Relationships and Increasing Intimacy. Carlise Austin, The Importance of Shadow Work. Martha Lobos Amaya, My Breakdown Became My Breakthrough. And then I wrap us up with Better Together, Practical Steps for Finding Your Social Circle. And that is it. Get your tickets and come join us.
Yes. So definitely get your tickets at creativelivingideas.com. The link is in the chat and the link is scrolling across your screen. So back to the question. If you can pick a good book, a good album, or a good movie / TV show. And if it's a TV show, you can get the whole series. Like if it was Cheers, you can get the whole Cheers box set. You can get the stream set, everything possible. What would you pick?
Well, I'll go. So I just finished my 4th trip around Ozark. So I always think about Dr. Tanya, but I don't know that that would be it, because it's, I think if it's the only thing, right?
You've watched it 4 times?
Yes, I know all the characters and all the dialogue, and now it's background.
I love it.
Right?
There's
I mean,
a lot to catch on there. There is a lot. I agree.
Oh my
I love
God. I don't know. If it was a book, it would be Pillars of the Earth by Ken Follett. I have read that one a number of times.
That was on Oprah's book list, I bet.
Probably was. Oprah gets all her tips from me. So since we met. That's a good one. If it was one record, oh my God, it would have to be Jefferson Airplane, Surrealistic Pillow. And if it was, so you got it. You got the book. Probably Vikings would be the series with all those handsome guys out there fighting. So I'm picking one of each.
I love it. Leslie's like me. She just makes her own rules.
That's true.
How about you, Lee?
Yes. Well, let's see. Hard to narrow down to one book because that's hard. But I think it would be a book I could read over and over and over again because I'll hear something different each time. And you also realize that maybe you didn't really listen to it entirely before. You think you did, but, well, maybe you all focus, but my brain goes drifts, let's just say. So I might go with Think and Grow Rich, actually, because it's timeless. I also like You Were Born Rich by Bob Proctor, but I'll go with Think and Grow Rich. And then I don't have a TV show that I can think of at the top of my head. And then what was a book? Well, that was a book. And then what was the other thing? A movie.
A record, an album.
An album. I'll probably go with, I'm going to go with an Earth, Wind and Fire album. It's called I Am because it's one of my favorite bands. And I feel like their music for me is timeless and always sounds great to me.
Yeah.
And let's see. movie. Again, so many. But I think I really liked Mrs. Doubtfire.
That's a good one.
Of course, it's Home Alone, but I'll go Doubtfire. That was a good one. I've watched that many times, and I quote lines from shows and movies. Oh, if it was a show, it'd be Seinfeld.
Yeah, you could watch that forever.
Over and over again. But I use one-liners from like the movies and shows that a lot of people watched, and I kind of coined them and use them in everyday life.
So, Lee, you don't know this, but I actually hosted the first mastermind for Proctor on his book, You Were Born Rich, in 2008. And I've read Think and Grow Rich and taught it for 18 years. But
wow.
There's always something.
Always.
You're always. But let me just tell you, Pillars of the Earth, oh my God, this was going back into 1700s, 1800s. It's all about architecture, right? Which is very interesting and fascinating subject. So, yeah.
I love that. Great job, ladies. Damien, they took that question to the next level.
Yeah, from now on, you have to use all four. You can't limit us. Not okay with the girls here.
Hey, I'm definitely open to adjustments and change. How about you, Dr. Farron?
Well, I'll change my answer for tonight. If I had to, was left with one book to read, I'm going to pick a book this time. I would pick Shel Silverstein's Where the Sidewalk Ends. Do y'all remember that book? You don't remember that? It's a book of poems, and it came out in the early 70s, and I read it as a kid, like the pages were falling apart from the spine and coming out of the book. And when I became a teacher, I read it to my class as a reward when they got their work done, because all of the poems are very rich and dramatic as far as silly, right? And so the one titled Sick was the one most requested by my students. And I believe it went something like this, like, I cannot go to school today, said little so-and-so McKay. I have a fever and the mumps, a bruise, something. And then she says, and she's going on with all these aches and pains she has. And I've got an itch and I've got a rash and I've got a Band-Aid. And I would say it very dramatically. And then she'd say, what is that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye. I'm going out to play. And they loved the poem, and we would get so dramatic with it. And so all of his poems are for kids, and they're just entertaining and fun. And you could do so much with them. So I could entertain myself, it seems like, for quite a while. How about you, Damien? You going to stick with your ER theme of the week?
ER is a good one. I can definitely go with that. I'll switch it up today. If I couldn't do ER, I would either go any Star Wars series or Rocky.
Ooh, Rocky series.
Star Wars, I like that one.
Or Rocky. Like, I want the longevity of it,
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of books that are falling apart, this is my copy, and it's no longer able to stay together.
I see that. Yes.
It opens at persistence.
I see.
The sustained effort necessary to induce faith.
I love that. That's exactly what my Shel Silverstein book looks like, of Where the Sidewalk Ends.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that. I thought I got one of those.
Yep. Post-its, and my kids loved looking at it. My students did. I love this. This conversation's so fun. So fun. All right. So let's go into kind of, your careers, ladies. What was the biggest turning point in your career? And, Damien and I have talked about this. There's several turning points in a career, probably, or in your lifetime that you've had. So think of something that was maybe a major turning point for you in your career or life. Mm-hmm. Damien, do you want to go first? Let the ladies think a minute.
Sure, I could go first. I think I talked about a few of them as we went through. I think a big turning point in my career was, know, kind of like opening myself up to building relationships with people and getting to the point where I was open to change because I
Mhm.
stayed at an organization for 19 almost 20 years, so I was open to changing and moving to starting a new chapter. And in my brain, I kind of train myself to think like, people in sports they retire, people in the military retire. I'm just moving on and retiring basically from a different space because um, my identity was really attached to being in that space organization, and folks didn't think I would ever leave, but I needed a change,
Mhm.
and I appreciate my whole time working there. But there's always time to open yourself up and moving forward. And I had someone who I was really close to at that particular organization that said you always have to open yourself up for opportunity and not be closed minded to it. And when she said that to me, it kind of made me think.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. Coach Lee, how about you? Turning point.
Yeah, there was a point in time, and I stayed at a job for a very, very long time, probably too long. And I remember, I don't remember when it happened, but I do recall thinking to myself that this was no longer a career and it was a job, which is different.
Mm-hmm.
It changed the element, it changed everything about it. So it remained a job for a very long time, but it was no longer a career for a host of reasons. And it changed the dynamics. And like you, Damien, eventually it was time to say goodbye. Walked away from something highly established, and I want a higher ranked persons there, but it was time to say farewell. So long, salute you all. I've got to go.
Right.
When the time was, when the time had come.
And you just know when the time is, don't you?
I did, because I heard a different voice than my whiny voice. And
Yes.
I'm like, that wasn't my whiny voice. That was some other voice. I was like, I'm going to pay attention to that one. But it was a very clear command. And what I heard was, get out.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. Leslie, how about you?
Well, I've kind of had two different kind of careers. One, started with, being a secretary, right, for years, and coming through all the digital changes from the manual typewriter to the electric typewriter to the memory and all of that. So I made my money in that area for many years, and and it was during a period right around the dot-com era where I moved into startup companies. And I began, I was the only admin, so I liaised with the board. I helped raise money. I did the due diligence to sell the company. And I did that for 3 different startups. But at that time, like right around 2006, the movie The Secret came out.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2007, I opened a meetup group called The Secret Society. So I'm working as a secretary. But on the weekends, all these people would get together all excited about the law of attraction. And it was there during that time that I found that I just love talking about all of this. And an errant email came into my inbox, which I followed, which you shouldn't, right? You still shouldn't, but I shouldn't back then. And it led me directly to Bob Proctor's site. And I picked up the phone and called. And right then, speaking with them, I knew this was my next step. The only challenge was that the cost in 2008 or 2007 was $16,000. and I made about $2,500 a month. But what I did was I was so excited about it, and then the training was going to happen in about 4 or 5 months. I never thought about the money again. I did what they told me to do. I opened a mastermind. I started teaching Think and Grow Rich. And then I got that call from my husband who said, we've sold some stock and that I was unaware of, and I'm sending you a check for $20,000. So that all was synchronous with the work I was doing. So it wasn't long after that I was able to retire and do this all the time. So now I'm a teacher. But that was really, I had been in personal development since 96, and it wasn't, so it was about 10 years that I had done a lot of study already. But this was my next step. And I am pretty much the only person I know from all the thousands of people that we met and do this work that is still doing this work. Right? Still teaching it the way Proctor taught me. Now I've got a hybrid program, of course, and I've evolved well past what he's done. And he evolved well past what Napoleon Hill had written. So it's really important, I think, to keep it alive, just like we keep our grandparents alive and the old music alive. I think that is important to do. So. So it was really 2 careers, and now I'm line editing books for Nick's company, and which I've done for years, and then and I'm also teaching a couple times a week. So
Yeah,
it's good
stuff. Yeah,
good stuff.
It's good stuff. It's good stuff. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm thinking for myself, again, there's a lot of turning points, and I'm just going to kind of stay in alignment here with the ladies here on this. So I think in 2008, I read The Secret, was the first time that I had done that. And then I found the teachings on Netflix or a video or something and shared it with my daughters. I've always included them in it. But then fast forward, right, been studying, learning from Bob Proctor, not as intensely as Leslie, but watching YouTube videos. And, I followed a lot of YouTube videos. Anyway, in 2020, that is when I really, in 19 and 20, really, he had pushed out a Mindset 2020. And I had filled out all of the paperwork for it to work for myself for the year. Like, what was my mindset for 2020? And I gave it to my daughters to do. They didn't do it. But as moms, we model, right? I've always, you model. And so I pushed it all out and did it. And I remember sharing with my husband, my piece of paper that I kept in my purse that I read every day of what my life was going to look like. And when our life turned that way, my husband was like, I remember distinctly driving down the road, leaving from closing on one of our extra houses and saying, let me tell you what I wrote down for us. And he was like, what?
That's right.
What? Because our life all of a sudden, 5 years later, or a year later, it was a year later, had really started to emulate what was written. So you guys, it's good stuff.
It's really good stuff. And I was certified and taught by him. But I made a commitment. I knew this was so right for me because I just loved the work. And the more I did it, the better I got at it. So now it's very natural for me. And I can teach it at a basic level so that people can understand it. And you don't have to read the whole book. It's a big book.
It is.
Right. And so what I teach on Fridays is a combination of Think and Grow Rich and also my own book, which was in 2014, which was the later version for women to go toe to toe with men, right, for wages. Because we came into 21st century business without the skills, without the behaviors to be recognized. And so I decided that I was going to teach this to women so that they could go toe to toe with men in business.
Love that. So, and to just wrap it up, to actually the topic was, that's when I changed my careers. So,
Oh, sorry. I interrupted you.
no, I know you're good. I changed a career from in person to working from home, and was after
great.
25 years in the same place. So it was
That's
perfect.
super.
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Yeah. Damien, we're almost out of time. We just been rambling. Poor Damien, just listening to us girls. So patient.
Yeah. Me and Leslie was talking about that backstage before you came in. You know,
How we're going to monopolize the conversation.
no, she was like, you gave so much energy yesterday. I was like, I kind of respect her whole space for women. I don't want to be that guy. Just talking and rambling about nothing while you have something to say. So, I always appreciate my time and being around y'all. I think I did have a question. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why? And I'll go with mine. Mine's is, I think I would have all y'all in one space, and we can have like shoot pool, talk, have conversations, like a retreat. Also be able to like kind of have like one of those like field day and just get to know y'all and just pick your brain about your life experiences, and sit down with like people from the network, people who are not from the network, and just have a whole bunch of great people, individuals who are heroes to other people, and we can always have a conversation. We sometimes get lost in the fact that there are people who are considered celebrities, but there are people who every day that do extraordinary things around us. So I would kind of have that in a warm space.
Very nice. Very nice.
So where would I go?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to go around the world, and I'd like to live on a ship for a year and travel around the world. It's got to be a retirement age ship where there's, like.
You don't want a party ship, Leslie? You don't want to party with everybody?
Well, no,
20 and under ship.
What?
No 20 and under ship.
No, that's, I could be a cougar, but not 20 and under, please. I need at least 50, 55. Give me a Gen Xer, right? Or a baby boomer, but most baby boomer men. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. That's what I would like to do.
I love that. That's awesome. That'd be great.
And you said where and why, Damien? Is that what you said?
Yeah. If you could travel anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
I'd like to go somewhere I haven't been. So a continent I have not been to at all. So I have been to Asia, but I think first on my list would be Africa, specifically West Africa. For ancestral reasons, and just I think that's why I'd go there and just have an appreciation of life and culture there.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
You like that?
Yeah.
I had that before.
Yeah. I think I would like to go to Spain. That's my next European area that I would like to check out, is Spain. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Just 'cause.
Nice. You want to take the closing question?
I forgot what it was.
In honor of International Women's Day, Women's History Month, instead of closing with a quote, we are going to close with, who was that woman that poured into you, that you appreciated, that you want to kind of highlight, and why?
Right.
For me, it would be my grandmother's, particularly my father's mother, who both of my grandmothers lost their husbands during the great Spanish flu epidemic, 1919, 1918, right around there. And my mother's mother had 2 children and had enough money to hire a maid while she was at work. But my father's mother worked in the basement of a factory running a lunch counter for 12 hours a day and also raised my father and his two brothers, all three of which were geniuses and were at the head of their fields in many respects. One of them was a financier and created Caesar's Palace years ago, and we all got to go. Another one was the attorney that brought the antitrust suit against IBM for unbundling in the 60s. I think it was in the 60s. And then the other one was my father, who worked on Nike, Zeus, anti-missile, and Polaris. So it would be my grandmothers who raised their families very successfully on their own a long time ago.
Wow. Impressive. How about you, Lee?
One person in particular comes to mind. There's probably a couple. Having an aunt, it's my mother's sister, and she lives in another country, but she's so fun to be with and hang around. She's just as cute as anything. But she was in the UK when I was a child. She was there doing her nurse training before she went back to where she is now. And so she would help all the sisters with their children, all her nieces and nephews. Mm-hmm. And I remember her back from that time. And I enjoy spending time with her now, collecting her stories, hearing the events, the whys, the wherefores. Because again, I won't say you take people for granted, but your grandmas and aunts and people, you see them with this label, but you don't get to you don't take the time to get to know the person of them. And now that I've been going over there and going to where she lives, and I've been asking her questions, and she wants to write her story. So I'm going to help her to do that. She says, I want to write about where I grew up. Yeah. And her husband said, well, Anne, my book comes first. He kind of, we'll get to that. My book's first, because I'm helping him to write his story.
I love that.
But she's very charming. She's just lovely and bubbly and fun, and just has a lovely spin on the world and life. And I enjoy her company.
That's awesome. That's going to be great. I hope you do help her do that.
I'm going to do it.
That's awesome. I'm going to read it. You know I will. I'll read it. I'm going to show you a picture here of these three amazing ladies. These two ladies here and here. All of these women raised us kids in California. This is my mother. This is our neighbor Jane and our neighbor Joni. And this is who we just met out in Las Vegas. And we kids in our 50s and 60s are the kids of these parents. And these women were all on the same street. We have all been friends. I have not lived there since 1979.
Where?
San Diego. And it was the best neighborhood. In fact, I have a book that I wrote called Dent Drive. It's a memoir with my mom and my brother. And it's about the street and these ladies. And they were our moms. Like, you knew if Joni caught you, you were in trouble. Jane caught you, you were in trouble. My mom caught you, the whole neighborhood was watching these kids, And it was the day that it was, don't come in until I call you in. You stay outside to play. But then if they caught you, you were in big trouble. But they loved us unconditionally. And I'm blessed every year that I get to be together and share time with them and still see all of the kids that are my age and hang out with them. So yeah, I'll show you the picture of the kids and then I'll be done. This is us kids in Las Vegas this past February. Isn't that amazing? Life is good. Damien, how about you? Oh, you talked about your grandmother.
No. I told myself this whole week I wouldn't talk about anybody in my personal life because it's just too easy to say them. Since it's a professional platform, I go with my professional journeys. I put in the chat Tiara Swain.
Yes.
Very skilled. She was with us with the Virtual Wellness Experience, right? No, Work-Life Balance Summit.
Yeah.
She's with Work-Life Balance Summit. She is the reason that I am on LinkedIn and that I understand it. I move around and I'm able to navigate this in social media. So she is the ultimate connector. It's not lonely in her tagline. That is just who she is. She is a very great-hearted, good human and individual. She's patient. She's highly skilled, and she helps you unlock your path. And she's a real good friend. So Tiara Swain.
Nice. That's amazing. Well, this show has been great, everybody. Absolutely loved you guys taking time out of your day to be with us. There might be something going on with LinkedIn. We don't know. So we're sorry if we didn't catch your comments. We will go back in and review them and make sure that we are commenting on that. So thank you for those of you that are watching this. If you're watching this on replay, if you'll just mark #replay, we greatly appreciate that as well. And come hang out with us at the Virtual Wellness Experience, March 20th and 21st. Passing it back to you, Damien. Close us out.
Yes. So thank you for showing up for the Virtual Wellness Experience. If you haven't connected with Leslie Flowers, you haven't connected with Coach Lee Forrester, you haven't connected with Dr. Tanya Farron or myself, connect with us. Also get your tickets at the Virtual Wellness Experience. And we're down to our last day tomorrow, which is day 5 of Meet the Presenter Week. And we thank you all for joining us, spending time with us. And do not leave. Catch the reel, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, everyone.